respects, there is research you need to do. I sat down and read the entire Constitution. I was aware there was a Constitution. I found it, I printed it, and I brought to the attention some corrections and errors and found that it was a deficient Constitution that had been amended and had numerous problems. I spoke with people about the problems to it, and there's lots of things to learn from it. You can't learn those things unless you've actually sat down and read that. Also preparing for it by being two presidents for two different organizations and working with the SBA board this year in different functions. That's how I prepared for it, and just asking Sean questions, talking with Sean throughout the year about the responsibility he's had. I feel like I've filled myself in enough information.
And Mr. Bond.
I also read the Constitution. I agree with Brian. It does have a lot of deficiencies in it. Number one being, just like what Sean just mentioned with Matt over there, we had a problem interpreting what it meant to be qualified to run for office. Now, we can make all kinds of jokes about people interpreting constitutions during election time, but certainly not when we're trying to determine who is eligible to run. So I think that there was a lot of problems there. I also talked with, I have a lot of friends on the current SBA board, one very close friend in particular, and I had lengthy hours conversations with that person, preparing for what kind of, making sure that I wasn't doing something, getting in over my head. I really wanted to make sure that this was what I thought it was, that this was, you know, that I could do the things that I get up in class and talk about. And through reading the Constitution and through talking with certain people, I absolutely believe 100% in that, and that's what I did.
Mr. Dudu?
Can we follow up on that? You can go ahead, Matt, but just afterwards we're going to have time.
Like I said, I've been on the executive board for the last 2 years. I worked with John Cirincione last year. I worked with Sean this year. They were the presidents of those organizations, but they're also my friends. You know, we've spent time discussing the position. Sean and I actually had a conversation when the signature sheets were due. You know, I mean, we really had a heart-to-heart about, I'm actually expecting my first child in 4 weeks.
Congrats.
Thanks. And, you know, I beat myself up over whether or not I should run for this position. And what I came up with was that, yes, I should. I'm fully aware, as is my wife, of what's involved in this position. And I'm confident that I can handle it.
Yeah, you guys make very good points, and so you guys know I have read the SBA Constitution a number of times, and I agree there are a lot of problems with it. The main problem is accountability. It doesn't provide for any accountability for the SBA Executive Board or for any any organizational board. And the thing that I've found, and this probably goes to the problem of carryover between organizations, which I'm sure we'll all talk about, is that organizations here don't have constitutions. How can you be an organization without something telling you how it operates, how there's turnover, how elections take place? And that's part of the problem. The SBA Constitution does need to be amended. And that's an important thing, which you guys both touched on. Very good point.
Could I follow up then, since we're going to start this? There is lots of different things within the Constitution that have accountability. There are there are 3 specific standing committees that I feel like are going to be important to reinstitute, and if not, adding more standing committees. There are lots of ways that organizations are accountable. There's lots of ways that individuals on the board are accountable, and that's all I have to say.
If I could follow up on that.
Sure, Matt, go ahead, follow up.
It is obvious that the Constitution needs to be amended. It's something that we looked at this year, and we realized that it needed to be done. We didn't want to do it internally, the SBA board, because we think it's important to include the orgs in that rewrite. What was my original point?
You want to do it internal.
That's it.